Good evening, everybody. And as we know that we're now coming to the Yom Tovim of Pesach, that we come to the Mila of Pesach L'Hashem Elekecho, that the Mila where Hashem passed over to us. And as we know the history between the nations of the Ummah Sa'olam against the nations of the gains who tried to rule over Yerushalayim, and for history for 2,000 years while we're in Golos. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should protect Eretz HaKodesh, his land that he swore to our forefathers, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us to us, Tomid Avaya and Lekecha Bo, Meresh Shana, Ba'ad Achos Hashana. Eretz Yisrael belongs to us. It doesn't belong, Rahman Islam, to the Palestinians, to any other nation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even though it was called the land of Canaan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave it to us. He gave it to us an inheritance. V'nachlosenu. This is ours. He also gave us to our possession. And I would like to make it and say it clear that we should all of you should say the capital Tehillim Chov and Chov Aleph, and others, in my opinion. He should have tefillahs because difficult days are coming up, but there will be days of Yemei Simcha. It will be days of Simcha, like in the poem story, like Rodin, Moise Oyo, of Simcha, V'sos Mikol will be a complete, while Kodesh Baruch Hu will wipe out the tears. The Rebbe explained this, I think it's in Micha. And Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to take us and bring us to Eretz HaKodesh, into Eretz Yisrael, in Yerushalayim HaKodesh, with the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, with the Gans, Achein Kol Beit Yisrael. Why am I saying this? Because now, according to the news and the political, America, for the first time in history, with Israel as its alliance, the strongest alliance that the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach says in Toshin Aleph, that America is the greatest friend of Israel. Eretz Yisrael and Atot HaBrit will always be together. America is Medina Shel Chesed. Russia is Medina Shel Gevurah. And I would like to make this very, very clear. Hashem is watching. Why is Hashem going to bring us to World War III? Because Hashem, the Mile of Gog and Magog, where Hashem is literally going to say to us, Yidden, I want to strengthen your money if you still want to connect to me. Ein ra yoim malo min hashemayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should protect over his land. Shema Yisrael. He's there to guide us. Hine leyonim v'lo yishon Shema Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect his land as he swore to us. And he will do whatever to destroy, to wipe out Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, Yamach Shemoy. He will wipe out the president of Turkey, Erdogan, Yamach Shemoy. He will wipe out the leaders of Hezbollah and the leaders of Hamas as he's done. And he shows us the miracle Mitzvah and Simon of Floyds. But we have to remember one thing. We can't just say to rely on Hashem. We have to do our part. We have to make this world a better place by doing the right thing, by doing Torah and mitzvahs. It's not relevant where Chas v'Sholem a person does an aveiro or a person does something that he shouldn't be doing. But nevertheless, the Bekiva says, even if a person who sinned, he's still in Yisrael. And that's why Mila recommend that each one of you, the mitzvah of the campaign of Matzah, bring another year to a Seder, a non-religious year, or somebody to a Seder, and give matzahs to people. And I want to say this again. The whole beauty of this world, the whole idea why the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach and Shluchim, not because that he felt he was the Mashiach. No. Was because to spread the idea of Molo, Oretz, Havaya, Deus Hashem, L'mayim, Kayom, Machasim, and also to spread the Yiddishkeit around the world to go transcend further. Why we are here, why did Hashem put us, so that and the Zohar Kodesh write there are 288 sparks of Klipot Tameos. And each mitzvah that we do, we overcome that spark if we want to become the mile of tzaddikim. And I want to say this again. We have the power to do what we need to do. We are in the army of Hashem, the legions of Hashem. Sivois Havaya, the Rebbe explains to his own, considering to the kids in Sivois Havaya, but also it's a lesson to us. As we know, the Torah is not a history book, Torah is a law. And if we want miracles to happen, and maybe we don't rely on the miracles, we don't have miracles explained in Gemara and Brachos. But we, by us doing Torah mitzvahs, by us doing what's needed, by the Yidden learning Torah, by the Yidden keeping mitzvahs, and even though the Yidden that who come and learn and join the army, but still so proud that they are Yiddishkeit, that they are still part of Hashem's chosen nation, or after Roishon v'Sabon v'Mantonu mikol haNeshonos. V'kiddushtonu v'Sesecho v'kavtonu makinu la'avidasecho v'shimcha God v'Kodesh Shalinu Koloso. We have the power to do what needs to be done in this goals. We have the will, we have the koiches to do, and this is the mile that Rebbe explained, the mile of Odom Kiyakim Mikem. That it means two things. One is the mile of Gashmis, when you bring your korbanos, the mile of Sumeyo. The other part is where you actually want to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The mile of the Pnimius, which is the mile of Eish Tomid Avaya, which we're going to read in next Parsha in Parsha Tzav, that the fire that each things that you do, how does it become a korban? It's when you come closer to Hashem. When you bring, there's a physically korbanos, and then there's a spiritually korbanos. Hashem alekecho, that you bring into Hashem your God. But I want to say to you something very, very powerful. And I had this dream this Sunday in Motzei Shabbos. One of the Arizal Talmidim came to me in a dream and gave me this vatoya, and it says, "Vayikra Hashem leMoshe." And we know the whole connection, why they have a small aleph, that we should learn from Moshe, who sacrificed. The Milo had bitten on over like never in history. What was the whole story from the Maisa Chet Egel, to the Maisa of the building of the Mishkan, and so forth, and to the Shivat Yemim. And we know Pasha Bekudei, Idei Mekud Mekobatoya, and Vayikra talks about the mitzvah, doesn't talk about the history, talks about the Masois and everything. What was the whole idea of the Chet Egel? Why was it that had a small aleph, and why is it over here? Why couldn't it be in Pasha Baluzcha? Pasha Baluzcha, we know the pasuk Ono Mikol Panei Hadoma. Why is the small aleph over here? Why couldn't it be over there? When it says Ono Mikol Panei Hadoma, just put the small aleph there, How Adoma, to tell you that there was Odom, that he was a mensch. Lo'olam Yeh Odom Shamayim, as we say in Davening. So what's going on over here? Why is Vayikra Hashem leMoshe doing over here? So come along and give you an answer. As Chassid explained, the mile of Vayikra, we know we can substitute letter. What is similar to the Kuf? Achof. So if you instead of reading Vayokan, Hashem desires to Moshe, that Hashem was only speaking to Moshe, read it Avayake Hashem Elekecho. That the extra, that the Sma Aleph is tell El Havaya. Vayikra Hashem El Havaya El Moshe. And Hashem is called upon us, and we know the Ater Tetzaveh Bnei Yisrael, that the Vayikra, that when we explained in the passage, Vayikra Hashem El Moshe Leimoy. Yeah, Vayikra. So the question is asked about Vayikra El Moshe. Vayidaber Hashem Elo Me'od Leimoy, and he called to Moshe. So the word Aleph can also mean Elokus, the milo of Hashem. Vayikra El Moshe, Elokus. And he called to Moshe. He called to Moshe because in the end of the Parsha we understand what does it mean L'chol Ma'aseyem. What does it mean when it says in Parsha Bekudei, and why is the connection over here? Vayikra Hashem El Moshe. Vayikra El Moshe, Vaydaber Hashem Elo Leimoy. To tell you that the Aleph to tell you that the mile of Havaya is calling upon to Moshe. Hashem sees why as soon as you did what you're able to do, to build a mikdash, to build a temporary mishkan, even though you know you're not going to fulfill, then I can bring the mile of Havaya, Ushmi Havaya Nodati Lahem to always down into this earth. That Pashat is Vayikra Hashem El Moshe, Vaydaber Hashem Elo Ma'od Leimoy. That's another Pashat that you can read it as well, even though the person doesn't say Hashem Vaya, it's just Vayikra El Moshe, and he called to Moshe. And then also the white Hashem, so you can say Vayikra El Moshe, Vayikra Hashem Moshe, Vaydaber Elo Ma'od Leimoy. You just swap the words around, we'll just swap the letters. So we see from here that what is this Havaya? The Havaya of Elokus. The Havaya that you connect to the mile of Elokus. So we see everything in the Torah is a lesson to us. And then that's how we get then we can come to Odom Kiyakim Mikem, that the person can come close to you. But that's not the pshat that I want to focus on. I want to focus on something to give you something that I saw in today's Aliyah in Revi, that is something that I want you to take on, maybe share with your families, whether you will do it, whatever it's not. It says in the Apostle we read in Perek Gimel, V'zevach Shlomim, and the complete sacrifice Korban you should bring, Im Lebaka, from the cattle or Mekam Zocha, he brings it from the male, and the cable of Tomim Kavanah should be complete before Hashem. And then goes with some of the Rosh Korbanai, and that's how they imagine to the Korbanos, Shloshem HaChatzer, HaKerev, HaKolot, HaChilim. And then it says, V'yanu Choyach La Shem. So, then it says, V'hiktira Koyen, Meichol Lechem Isha La Shem. Now, I want to explain to you something. What's the difference when you say the bread, that the osham, the fat for Hashem, lechem isham lashem, to osham, the sin guilt offering or the sin offering, to lechem isha lashem, the bread of the fire to Hashem, or lerein choyach lashem. What's the difference between them? And what's the meaning? And also the Rebbe asks, what is the meaning of lechem Hashem? But I want to ask you a very, very powerful question. Why lechem? Why particularly lechem? And why use the word ishe? Why can't you use the word ha'ish? Lechem ha'ashel Hashem. What is the word ishe? The bread Hashem. As we know, the mila in Pashas, we know in Pashas, mila with the Torah, and so it's given, we're preparing to give them the Torah. We know for a fact that the mila of the mila of the when Hashem goes to give the shtufa and say the Gemara in, and it says in B'yam like a wedding. That Hashem kind of wanted, the spiritual wanted to like marry us. So that's the whole idea of Isha, the whole idea of connection, the whole idea of shtufa that we're here to work together to bring down the oilam haba down into the mila. So I said v'yichol shel Moshe into this, into the whole connection. Come on, say. You can read Vayake, and he will recognize Vayake Hashem Vayake Hashem el Moshe. As the Mali also connected with Tzaveh el Bnei Yisrael. So I'm just reading Vayikro el Moshe. That the Aleph is to tell you Vayake, and you will recognize El Hashem Elokecho to Hashem your God. And then Vayikro el Moshe Vaydabe, and that's mean we learn from him Mo'ilema saying. So I want to explain to you something. The difference between Lechem Ishel Hashem to the Lereach Nechoyach Hashem. Sometimes in life, a person finds himself in a situation which he feels that he's in a struggle. He feels that he wants the easy way. He's not used to something that is very, very untangible. And that's why the Milo of the Purim story, the Milo that the Rebbe explained, the Milo of Purim, to Golos of Adar to Golos of Nisan. Now, what's the difference between the Purim of Nisan to the Purim of Golos to Purim? The Milo of Nisan Purim, it was where the Yidden what was going to had a decree. So the question is, what was the Milo of Mitzrayim, the Golos of Mitzrayim, or Golos of Haman, the Gzerah of Haman? You might say that the Golos of Mitzrayim is worse. No, the Golos of Haman. Why? Because Haman wanted completely to annihilate every single member of Jews. The Mitzrayim knew they couldn't. So what was the Milo? So Purim was the Milo of the physically Golos. Mitzrayim, Nisan was the Milo of the spiritually Golos. While Neshama was trapped. We want Golos. We were not only our Gov now in today's generation, we're able to send down on Torah. In the time of the Mitzrayim, the only Sheva that was sitting on the Torah, and even then there's still problematic what they were sitting on was Sheva Levi. So the question is over here is asked straight away. They ask, so what's the connection? The connection is like this. That sometimes in life we are used to having something clear vision. As human beings, we're not gonna be like, I don't have to understand. I want to know now. A human being instinctive is to say, I need to know now. I want to know now. I want to do this now. I can't. It's my own life, my own decisions, my own rules. Spirituality means that you have to connect. There's no other path. There's no other way. Whether it's bad, whether it's good, you have to connect. If Hashem said to you something, you listen. If I do so. So the Lereach Nechoyach Hashem, it's coming from us. It's coming from us because Hashem says Lereach Nechoyach Hashem. You are making it to be Nechoyach Hashem. Then we have Lechem Yishal Hashem. So the question is asked, if Hashem is already saying Lereach Nechoyach Hashem, what is the idea of Lechem Yishal Hashem? The bread of the fire that the Kohen was sakvan becho, Lechem Yishal Hashem. So the answer is that it's actually because from Perek Vov to prosecute Aleph. And for Postvele, actually you might say it's difficult. It might say it might say that it's different. No, it's the same. There is phase 1, there's phase 2. Phase 1 is about your avodah. Phase 1 is about you doing, but you're preparing for the korbanos that the mind of came. You're preparing for the gashmi to make it to Elikos. Yeah, you are preparing it. The milo of it's very good for a person, and not for a person to have sumeya, to have boundaries, like the Gemara explains. Like the makkah, you have a wolf or no this. Like there is rules, there is boundaries. So the Re'eh Nechoyach Hashem is coming from you. That I make it to make it pleasant for you in the Gashmit way. But the question is, does it bring into your eternal? Does it bring into your real life? What is your real life? Your real life is Yiddishkeit. Your real life is Torah mitzvahs. Your real life is to be Jewish. That's your real life. Not just to walk around, just to learn Torah. Anybody can go and read a book. Anybody can go and daven. Anybody can go and do things. But the question is, did you make that place? Did you make it? Did you fulfill the myth? Did you fulfill by bringing the spirit, bringing the ruchnis down into your life, by bringing Hashem down into this world? Did you feel that there's a tzavso v'chibur? As the Zohar explains, the Zohar could explain, Mashpi explained in the Sefer. Did you make it? No, you didn't. You just daven, you just learn, you just did because you realize that Hashem said the Maila that you don't want to be better like Hashem. Now there's two types of learning. One is why you're learning because you want to connect to Hashem. Because you want to feel connected to Hashem. The other you're learning because I have to learn. If I don't learn this and that, I won't know anything. That's what Ein Bar Mituk Lishma will anyway come to Lishma. So there's the whole idea in Gemara Kedushim will live in other places. But I want to say to make this very clear that the Torah, that the Pashas Vayikra, that Hashem is calling to Moshe saying, where are you connected to Kodesh Baruch Hu? So you just may have the poem, or we were saved, like who the Moshe now I can go backwards. Say that Kodesh Baruch Hu, no. What about the Lechem Yishal Hashem? What about not just only now Lechem Hashem that you enjoy the meat, you enjoy the steak, or you enjoy the lamb, or you enjoy whatever you enjoyed over there. The korbanos that you bring to the Beit HaMikdash, whether you did Malik or whatever it is. What about the Lechem Yishal Hashem? What about the bread, which is the Ruchni, which is the Maila Melech, Tashmi Melech, Beris Hashem Elekecho? What about the convert with Hashem? What about the connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Lechem Yishal Hashem. The word Isha can mean the word, Isha can also mean Isha. What about your connection that is formed to you on Har Sinai? For you to have the Torah. What about that? Are you just going to go and do the mitzvah and then just run away? What about bringing me down in this world? A lot of time, that's what people do. Unfortunately, I believe that people should not consider to understand the whole inner part of Torah. Why you're here? You're here to make a liyodiyah about Torah. It's very good to learn Gemara. It's very good to learn Rashi. It's very good to learn the Nikla Torah. But it's also good to learn Chassidus. Because then it makes it clear. You will understand something that you never heard before. So some people ask me, what is a Nossi? And I make it very clear. And I may not explain it, but I strongly believe, and that's why I believe strongly that the Rebbe is Melech Mashiach, and I will be right when Mashiach will come. Why? And I'll explain to you why. I learned, many people ask me this, I learned every single Chassidish form that I can see. I learned the Rebbe's Sichos, I learned the Rebbe Mamoim, I learned the Alter Rebbe Mamoim, I learned the Tzemach Tzedek, the Mittel Rebbe, this and that. Going through the list. I learned it. I learned the Baal Shem Tov, read this and that. What I see from the Rebbe's Sichos to no other in his form, the genius from the Rebbe, is that even on the high level that the Rebbe can be, the Rebbe brought it down for me and you to be able to understand. For each one individually to be able to understand. That's the concept. The other Tzvom like the Yismach Moshe, the Moiv Shemesh, the Tfer Shloimo, the Meshach Chochma, the Torah Zachayim, the Chovetz Chaim, the Vinegar, all of these big Gdolim and big Tzaddikim, yeah, they're just saying like a purple, Jewish, but they're not connecting to your soul. They're not making it a clear clarity. How do I know? Because I learned it. I feel, but when I learned to look at the Torah, and I'm not saying just saying that because I'm Chabad. I respect the Vinegar. I respect other literature Gedolim. But on the other hand, I don't see that they coming to the point. And if I see that you learning it in a mile of Brit Nova, and you're learning it because this is Hashem Torah, you will see a new light. You will see a light of Hashem. You will see the light of the Shekhinah. And that's why you can see and understand, and then clearly understand what is a Nasi. A Nasi is not somebody who, they say when the Ba'alm bells, who another tzaddikim who went to see the Rebbe, they saw that the Rebbe at that time was like the youngest, like the Alter Rebbe, and became to be the greatest of all of them, because the Rebbe was born a Rebbe. Which means the Rebbe was born a Rebbe. The Rebbe was born to lead us out of Golus. The Rebbe was born, that's what God Hashem said so. The same way with David HaMelech. The public didn't know who the Rebbe was. But did the public wanted of the Melech to become the king? No. But Shmuel HaMelech, was clear, the Apostle in Shmuel is clear that the people voted for Shmuel HaNovi. It's like when the people today, democracy people today voted for Bibi. In America, people voted for Trump. And in this country, Lahavdi Rahman Islam, people voted for Kistama. Well, whatever much vote you say, and I hope, and Be'ezrat Hashem, he will leave, and he will resign, and he will go. Be'ezrat Hashem. Sadi Goit Hashem Ekaim. I want to see him go already, Kistama. He's killing the country, but I don't care because everything is from Toibishter. But I want to say this to you again. Like Elei Malach Biyat Hashem. And I myself come from directly from Rebbe Rabbeinu HaKodesh, so I know the idea of what is a leader. My parents always said to me, represent yourself like a normal leader. But I want to present yourself that you can be the best you can be. But I want to say this, and I want you to understand that the mile of Lechem Yishel Hashem is to understand why you're here, to understand what you're watching in life, what you need to do in this world, why you understand, and to understand also. We command for everybody to learn the Maimah ve'atat etzav b'nei Yisrael ve'yichol lechem Hashem azayzoch Toshim Aleph, to understand the connection between Moshe Rabbeinu to the Yidden, why Dafka Moshe Rabbeinu was able to bring the oil and not Aaron, and so forth. But I want to say this thing to you again, that the Rebbe lead us. The Rebbe is also the mind of Shomer Klolos. The Rebbe is connect. And the Rebbe, as many people believe that the Rebbe had in the Neshama of the Rambam, that the Rambam was able to understand, with through the Neshama was able to learn. And since I myself, that told Neshama that I have the Neshama of the Alter Rebbe. Now the question is, my father, my brother asked me, another asked me, what do you mean you have the Neshama of the Alter Rebbe? How does it make sense? As the Zohar Kodesh writes, the Neshama I have is the mile of Gonos, which is the mile of coming in which the Tachlis Ikis will be revealed when Mashiach will come, in a more of a clear way. Even I don't understand. And even I don't know why. So if I don't understand and I don't know, I think the best thing for you today is just to this. Because Emes will always be Emes. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to say. I'm one of the few people that believe that the Rebbe is Mashiach Penimius. Because he's the only one, there's no one else. It's like you can't have two heads. Today everybody is fighting who's the head. But before Gimel Tammuz, it was clear to everybody. Yeah? So David HaMelech was not chosen, going back to the point, David HaMelech was chosen by Hashem. He wasn't chosen by the people. His older brother, Elisha, he was going to be the king. What happened? He had anger. And Hashem said to Shmuel, you may see the outside, but I see an inside. And even later on, when David HaMelech went to the battle to fight Goliath, before then, he goes angry with David. And David said, well, why are you angry? He said, why are you making assumption? He realized that he will never. And by the way, saying before David HaMelech became the king, the oil went to him. So to be a Rebbe, everybody going, the Bible is not a Rebbe, the Bible is this. I said, first ask yourself, what is a Nasi? What is a Neshama Klolis? And share it with others. What is a leader? Stop worrying about this. I don't care what you say. Because I know what you say. It doesn't make a difference to me. But why are you coming to me? Why do you care so much? Do you know why they care? Because they know the MS. The Sultan knows it's the MS. And that's the mile, just like most of the world, Esav son is Yaakov, and they know deep inside that there's an Oibishter in the world. Eino Elokim, Eino Milvadoi, Atov it's Lodat, Kavayo Elokim, Eino Milvadoi, and they know that there's Hashem in the world. Bereshit bo Elokim and Shemaim Ezoret, and HaKodesh Baruch Hu gave us the land of Eretz Yisrael to a land. Ibloi berisi chokay Shemaim Ezoret somti, and explained in Yirmiyah. They know that Hashem gave us the Torah mitzvahs, and this is our land. So why is it that when it comes to Yud and small, we are right, but suddenly when it comes to this, so that's the trick. Even in the own Ruchni, the certified, not only in the Gashmis bit, the certified, okay, the Yitzhak, you do the mitzvah, no, even the spiritual, because come even more so. And most of us today, of Yidden, don't believe this, and you know what? Because it's a test. Do you still believe? Do you still connect? Many people learn Chassidus. They forget to understand that nothing changed from Gimel Tammuz to after Gimel Tammuz. Nothing changed. They think they changed. Oh, the Rebbe is not alive anymore. That's it. We have a new leader. No. Nothing changed. That's not what a Rebbe is. A Rebbe is somebody who leads us, Rosh B'Nisov Penimius, who leads us, that cares for every single neshama, that has the miler to care. The bells, Rabban Boz was a big tzaddik. The Ger Rebbe was a big tzaddik. The Satmar Rebbe was a big tzaddik. The Chaim Kavietzky was a big Godelador. Other at that time of his generation, that time, and the list goes on. Yeah, I can only think people that I'm used to now. Yeah, exactly. So they were great people, but they were not Nasim. They were not a Nossi. They were not there to lead for every single Jew that had humility and know what it means to be a rebel. All know Mikol Pnei Adama. The Rebbe had a neshama Moshe Rabbeinu, a neshama to lead the Klal Yisrael. The first person, like some people ask another thing, is the Rebbe Mashiach. But first of all, you have to understand what is a Nasi. Then before you go to the next step, to understand what is Mashiach. Now, the Mashiach that we're waiting for is not the Mashiach that Hashem wants. Why? Because the people think that Mashiach is there to solve your problem. No. That's not what Mashiach is there for. Mashiach is there to fulfill Hashem's promise by making us to sit and learn Torah, make us to connect to Him, to heal this world, and for it to make it to be a spiritually world. Because Mashiach is said, Ruach HaPeinu Mashiach Hashem. He will have the spirit, the nostril of from Hashem. That's what Mashiach means. It's all spirituality, all Ruchnius. And since the Rebbe was the Rebbe of Ruchnius, and the Ruchnius will always live. As the Zohar said that Tzaddik will live more in this world, more in the upper, more in the Olam Haba, than into this world. Why? Because he's with Hashem. And this Ruchnius is above Gashmis. Ruchnius provide the Gashmis. Who created this world, if not for Hashem? Yeah, who is it? Who created the world? There was like a big bang. So I want you to know that there are people that contradict themselves. But the mile of this parsha to tell us the lesson of Lechem Yishal Hashem, we need both. We can't just have only one, Lechem Yishal Hashem. We need both the Gashmis and the mile to the Ruchnis. We need both the Ruchnis come down to the Gashmis. But I want to say this again, that the Lechem Hashem has two parts into it. One part is the bread, Ishel Hashem, the fire for Hashem, that you're offering to Hashem, that even though you don't understand. And the other part is that Hashem will make it into be a Lechem Yishel Hashem. That Hashem will make it to be, when you do what's right, Hashem will then make it to become like Hashem. And hopefully you'll be Zoicha. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that we're doing the right thing, we also have to scream out Mosai and do what's need to come. And hopefully we merit. Leshona haba b'Yisrael, we merit that this year Pesach already be in Eretz HaKodesh. In Eretz Yisrael, the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, and Machein on Kol Beit Yisrael, will be there with the Gans Yidden, with the Gans Vel, to be ready, Vayiktu L'chol Ech Ve'ech M'Yisrael. We'll be there with the whole world. There'll be no more war. There will be no more killing, there will be no more jealousy, there will be no more hatred. Everybody will come together as one. Everybody will know that there is one Hashem in the world. And there's only one nation, or that one nation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the Jewish people, the Jewish nation. And everybody will sit and learn Torah. And everybody will fulfill what's right. And all the klippos, the Mesaruch, Hatum Avim, and Horitz will disappear away from us. And that's what the mile by burning us the chomet, kol chamiyo v'chamiyo. The Yikov B'Shul say, all of your chomets hopefully be burned both in ruchnis and both in gashmis. And we hopefully return to Hashem. V'shavta Hashem elekecho. V'shavta Hashem elekecho. We return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu into Eretz Yisrael. Ki mitzion te'tu Yisrael d'va Hashem mi'Yerushalayim. And may it to be that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bless us to have a friendly and kosher Pesach v'sameach. With Achenu B'Yisrael, Hashem should protect over His country. Hinei le'onim v'le'sham Hashem Yisrael and it's Yisrael. And if Iran, Yemach Shemoy Amalek, Ile Kamani Yamak Shemoy will try. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will wipe his hand as he did to Paro Melech Mitzrayim, as he did to the Mitzrayim, as he did to the Babylonians, as he did to the Romans, as he did to any other nation, try to dismantle the Bnei Yisrael. And throughout history, and since we are in the last 2,000 years, we have to remember that Mashiach is going to come, and even the Yidden, unfortunately, who don't believe Mashiach will come, who don't believe the idea that there's Hashem and there was Rahman al-Islam, they know that there's Hashem, they know that Mashiach is coming, but it's all a test. And this will Hashem al-Ekina, v'anigla zlonu v'nena ad oilam lasei z'koladiv ha'torah zoyz. Rabbi say, we got to do what we need to do, we'll be zoicha, hopefully by doing what needs to be done, we'll be married to the coming of Mashiach, Zikenu, the Rebbe, Melech HaMashiach, Machinun, Kol Beit Yisrael, in Beis HaMidosh HaShlishi, B'mheyo v'yameinu, Teke miyad mamush, Yechi Adonenu, Ameinu v'Abbeinu, Melech HaMashiach, Lo Elam Voed, we should be zoicha to the Golas HaMitav HaShlemo, Imagam Kalal Beit Yisrael, B'noreinu Mezkonenu, B'monenu V'nesenu, Leilech Yerushalayim HaKodesh, you are Hashem B'tzuv L'Tzion, should merit to be coming to the zoicha to the Golas HaMitav HaShlemo. Take miyad mamash l'chaim u'levocha, and a friend of Kosta B'Sameach, Mimei V'Meinu, to Kavoma B'Yom Hahu. You talk about Shefa Godel, of V'Odim, and you talk about Mitzrayim, able to zoicha to hear the Shofar Mashiach, the Elionov is going to blow from the right horn. We're able to show and Kevin Yovel. We're able to do what needs to be done in this world. To fulfill the wrath of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Are able to be zoicha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send out the full, the full complete, the full of by healing us to become to come to come close to Hashem, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As it said, we say in the Pesach story, we say in the Agod, we say in the Lavisena, V'Leilonu, Shel Echo Bilvod, Omar Deleno Lachalisena, V'HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matileno Miyodom, U'Mimitzrayim Gatonu, Im Beis Avodim V'Disonu, V'Zoicha, to Golos, Hamitav HaShlemo, in the Beis Hamidosh HaShlishi, Teke Miyad, Mamash, Amen.